Hello, everyone, and welcome to Club 38, where every beat feels like silk and gold. As always, I am Gal, and I am missing my co-host, the lovely Kate Gaming. She is still doing our home renovations. Tonight, I am joined by the one and only Rabid Beaver.
Hello, hello. Good to see everyone. I'm excited to be here and have a damn good time.
For those of you that aren't in there, you could go to our Linktree. It's Linktree/Club38, and there is the Discord. Go ahead and join there. Get that Club 38 role, get my role, get Kate's role, be notified whenever we go live, ask live podcast questions. They're always fun to answer. Could be anything from Swigo topics to your favorite Girl Scout cookie. Could be anything. Get in there, ask those questions, and as our co-host would, our guest would say, have a damn good time with them. That's no
Oh
N,
yeah.
no N, DAM.
Yes, no N.
Um,
There's only DAM in the dam.
so Beaver, welcome back to the club. Any other news since your last update? Go ahead and pimp out your stuff, give your intros again.
Yeah, I mean, hey, if you haven't seen my channel before, I kind of popped out of nowhere a while ago and I'm still going. Been a little rocky lately, got a new job and that type of stuff, and so I was a little inactive on making new content for a while, but let me throw my links into the chat real quick just so that way, anyone can go check it out. But yeah, so I make Swigo content about literally kind of anything. Um, Guides are kind of the big thing that people come to my channel for. Everyone's going to my Grand Inquisitor guide right now, thanks to the Lightspeed tokens that CG's handing out. So it's always nice. And hey, if you're looking for some fun Swigo content, doing something very stupid like letting chat choose my counters, doing hot sauce, or you need a guide, you can hop over to my channel. I'm sure I have it for you.
The good old hot sauce stream.
Oh, dude, they're so painful.
Yeah,
Ugh.
I did one of those once. Is I mean, for the listeners and the people watching, whew, that was my actual first time being on camera, and whew, that was tough. That was a rough
The
go
great
for
first
both
time
of
to be on
us.
camera. Yeah, dude, by the end, I think we were both in tears. That was so bad.
It was so good though. Like
Ugh.
good in the worst way, or
Yeah,
worse in the good way.
absolutely. Probably one of my favorite things I get to do as a content creator is go onto people's channels and just like, yeah, let's force this person to eat hot sauce with me. Hey, let's get uh I don't know, let's get Arnold to Relic 9 Rose Tico. Let's
Hey, let's
get
get Egnards
Egnards.
to what cottage cheese was it?
Yeah, eat cottage cheese. No, sour cream. That's what it was.
That's what it
Sour
was.
cream with a spoon, and then he failed at trivia, and so he had to drop the worst Omicron in the game on his Gungans.
Oh, that one was good.
Yeah, I love causing harm to the Swigo community.
Speaking of causing harm to the Swiggo community, I gotta ask, if you had to say you have a flagship character, like mine is Leia, uh, and the Stranger, because everybody knows my love for the Stranger. Those two have kind of become my flagship. Two-part question. One, who would it be? And two, are they Relic 10?
Oh, so the answer is I haven't Relic 10'd anyone in the game yet, but I do have enough materials to Relic 10 5 characters. So it's
Ooh,
currently in a debate between the two squads that are surrounding my flagship characters.
okay.
So it's a little rough. I'm still trying to figure out. I'll probably give it to my viewers to figure out which one they want me to do. But um, I coined the term "mommy Mandalore" forever ago,
Yep.
which disturbed Nooch to no end, which made it that much funnier to me. So it's just kind of stuck with the channel. So Bo-Katan is definitely one of the two that I'm looking at, and I've always loved her team ever since I unlocked it. It was one that I pushed. Like I got some, I got like did the Christmas pack or whatever of shards and got one of the requirements for it pretty early. And so I was like, oh, I just have a little bit left. Might as well just finish this. So I got her
Yep.
pretty early and I've been using her ever since and loved her. So that's definitely one of the contenders is Mommy Mandalore. And the other one though is like what got my channel my start. My first video for Galaxy of Heroes was when Ray, the Lightspeed bundles for Ray came out.
Hmm.
I got to the Ray event and I was like, I don't know how I can do this because every guide I was seeing was like, oh, here's how to do it with no Zetas from like AP Gains. And it's like, oh yeah, you just use R2D2 and C3PO. I'm like, dude, I am an account that's not paying a lot. Don't have JML. I'm a new account. I just have SLKR. Like, what do you want from me? I can't get R2D2 and C3PO up. And then I
Right.
had a Zori at 3 stars and figured out, hey, Zori basically solos that event. And so I posted that video. So it got me my start on YouTube. And she's still one of my favorite teams. I use her all the time to take down Ahsoka, even now, post Relic Delta. I love that team so much. So the other contender is Zori, but that means we're relic tenting Rose. But
And the,
you win some, you lose some.
I love the going back to the mommy Mando thing though. Um, she's big on your channel, but everywhere. Like everybody in every channel I've ever seen, they call her mommy Mando. Like you started that. That's crazy.
I love that so much. Oh, that's great. I'm like 99% sure that's the reason that CG has never talked to me and refuses to talk to me is because they just, I use inappropriate names for certain
I
characters.
mean, you gotta have fun with it, right?
Absolutely. Like if you're not having fun, it's a game. We're here to have fun and enjoy Star Wars. So
Exactly. It could be tough sometimes, but hey, CG likes to make it difficult. But
yeah, it seems like they're trying to alleviate it though, as of recently. We'll see. We'll see.
we will cover all that in just a minute. How did your GAC go?
I It went great this week. I've been having a blast with my free to play account. I started a free to play account right as the changes happened. The anniversary happened. We played through as fast as we could. Did a speed run with Matt Master to see who hits level 85 first. Been playing that account ever since. Blast. Absolutely love it. Went
Hmm.
3 for 3 this week. Killed a gas with my Keller and Beck and Queen's Men, which was pretty cool. Awesome time. Oh, but 3v3 on the main account is killing me. All of these guys, I'm in Kyber 2, and everyone has their like insane datacrons for every single team, thanks to the mistakes the CG made. I got a
Yes.
triple win. I didn't enjoy myself.
Yeah. I mean, triple wins are good though.
Yeah, yeah. I feel like my opponents probably didn't enjoy themselves as much. A lot of it came down to like one opponent tried to take down two different teams, dropped two battles in a row, and then just immediately was like, "Nope, I'm done," and just
What?
never came back.
But
Like,
do you remember what teams they were?
Lord Vader and Rey Hezra, I believe, were
Okay.
the two teams on that one. But this last one, the last round, I think I got 4 holds on Keller and Beck and my Relic 9 Jocasta Nu that my community
Yeah.
forced me to
What's been
get.
going on? I've lost to Keller and Becker. He's had like one or two holds against me too. Like going
There's
up against him. It something about 3v3 with him this time around is I don't know, man.
Yeah, I've had some weird glitches with him. It might be like one of those things like with Shock T for I think still to this day, Shock T technically shares more stats than she's supposed to in her leadership. Um and like for instance, they switched the what is it called? Dengar's ship, punishing one,
Yeah.
to make it so Executrix and no longer works very well. But 1 in 3 times we still get critical hits, even though you're not supposed to be able to. So it might be one of those bugs because I've seen things like I went up against Keller and Beck and I used Bane and I couldn't get through him because he went down to 1 health and he was invincible at that point.
Yeah.
And so there might just be some glitches with his kit or something. But also with Relic Delta on the field, in my case, Relic 9 Jocasta Nu can go a long ways to pissing people off.
I think she's gotta be up like close to my R9 tier now. I gotta do it.
It's my least favorite character in all of Star Wars. Like if I had any character that I didn't want to take to Relic 10 the most, It's Jocasta. She's the worst Star Wars character ever. I hate her, and I hate that I have a Relic 9
Yeah,
Jocasta Nu.
mine's at 7. Um, but I did just take up Drogon to 9 with
Mm,
and I took my Ray up to 10. So
yeah, I'm not doing a lot of high relics. Is that what have you been doing to like
yeah,
mitigate relic delta? Because
well,
I've been doing like 5 to 7 kind of thing, 5 to 6, 5 to 7 kind of stuff. Not a whole lot of like 7 to 9.
I'm going 7 to 9 just because like I have an end game account. So at this point, outside of the new what um CG's kind of marked as EL era levels, um without the era level characters, like I got everything unlocked. All starred. So I'm kind of just like upping everybody to relic, the higher relics just because I want to increase my GAC score. Or not GAC, territory battles. I want to be
Yeah.
able to do the further planets because I'm an MC3, so we like to go pretty far.
Yeah, that's definitely something that like I mean, it's not necessarily a bad thing to be helpful with Relic Delta. Like my guild was like asking for Relic 9 Rose and I was like, "You know what? Sure, not only does it mean I can use my Finzori team more in territory battles, but then also it's Relic Delta that'll allow me to take down any Ahsoka still to this day." Um
Hmm.
and so, like, I don't know. It feels a lot less bad to take up rote platoons and like take up teams to be able to fight in rote because it's just going to benefit you everywhere now, which is it's nice, I must say.
Yeah, exactly. Because again, you get the higher score in rote, and then although I'm not doing like the deployments because we hit those up to pretty far in. So we're not even looking at the next planet yet. So I'm just like, okay, I gotta get Relic 9 because I'm in these Relic 9 planets. I actually just brought my mommy Mando up to Relic 9 because she needs it for her planet. So
Hmm.
I'm working on her team currently to get the rest of them all up to Relic 9 so that way I have this mommy Mando team ripping, raring, and ready to go. Um, the Strangers team is going to be up there really shortly. I actually got
It's
my Jabba all at Relic 9.
oh dang. Yeah, it's really surprising how easy like the changes they've made. It can be a little difficult for like newer accounts, but even on my free to play, like I'm not having a whole lot of trouble getting to like Relic 7. Like I'm, what, 3 months into the account and I already
Yeah.
have 4 Relic 7s going.
Wow, 4
Like,
already?
yeah, like I've already got 3 of my Recs done for Leia, and they're all some of the bigger Recs.
That's crazy.
Like the account will probably have Leia in 6 months. Like that's like nothing nowadays. And like it's really impressive just how much faster things are going with the lightspeed tokens from Coliseum, as well as with the just the changes to Mark III and Mark II and everything like that. Although I honestly would probably prefer that the Electrum conductors were still on Mark III, but I do get significantly more of them because they're Mark II now.
And that's not something I've really ever paid attention to just because, again, I'm so far. Like, I don't have a new account, so I'm not looking at the Mark 1, Mark 2 stuff.
Yeah, and like not even looking at like lightspeed tokens either. Like my main account is like sitting over here and I threw a lightspeed token at Jedi Consular the other day because it's like what else am I putting?
Yeah, exactly. I'm just relicking stuff that I can because I can at this point. What else am I
Yeah,
going to use it on?
I officially unlocked Afra yesterday and now I have the journey guide done because I got some
Perfect.
free lightspeed tokens from Mall and I'm like, "Yay, I guess."
That's yeah. That's another thing I want. What were your thoughts on the fact that because did you well on Mall a bit?
I a bit. I think total amount for from when Coliseum came out to now with Vader being out, I think I've spent, let's see, $1,030 roughly.
Wow.
$600 for each of the characters,
Hmm.
plus 200 for testing out Coliseum when it first came out, and then yeah, the rest is like, the episode passes, some crystals that I had to spend here or there, um, the conquest passes. Like I have spent so much money over this last era, and it's convinced me that it's no longer viable or reasonable to spend money on the game like at
Yeah.
all.
As soon as like these air level characters, I'm curious to see how it's all gonna work because I've spent like $60, and that's just starring because I have all the gear.
Hmm.
I have the like I'm taking stuff up to Relic 9 because I'm trying to up my rote score. I have it. So I'm just like I just need stars because when that's gonna be my issue is farming all these guys to 7 star. That's gonna be my like issue because I don't know. So I'm curious to see how that going into the game is going to affect a lot because and are we going like again, I didn't drop all that kind of money because I was like I'm just going to deal with it later. Is it something I have to look
Yeah.
at dealing with now? Is it something like with the new air level am I going to have to look at this stuff earlier and spend more?
Yeah, and I think the big thing that this helps, the Colosseum and the stuff that they've done, I think the big thing it helps is not the end game players. It's not a little bit to the mid game players, but I think the big thing is it brings in new whales really well.
Yes.
You could like I saw a new whale account. I checked to see how long they'd been playing because they told me they'd only been playing a month, and I was like, I gotta check this. Sure enough, they'd been playing a month and they had like 3 GLs and Executor.
Wow.
Like the amount of yeah, like the amount of stuff that you can purchase right now with the Lightspeed bundles with with the Lightspeed tokens that you're going to be getting commonly if you spent on the new characters. Like new whales coming in can get a huge advantage on just speeding their way through the game. I don't think it's really that helpful to end game whales. I don't think mid game people can get some benefit out of spending some crystals and that kind of thing. But like what with you, like the end game players, they have the stuff to bring these people up. So why interact with Colosseum besides getting Relic 10 materials? And right now we're not seeing a whole lot of use out of Relic 10. So
And
I think it's an interesting system for
I
sure.
think they need to differentiate that. I really do. Because yes, you want to bring in the new blood. Yes, you want to bring in those new whales. That I completely understand. I get the sales idea for that. What I don't get
Hmm.
is now you're tying this Coliseum with Relic 10 and Lightspeed bundles. This is your primary area for both of these things.
Hmm.
So you have new players who are here like, yeah, I want the Lightspeed bundles. I got to catch up. And then you have all these players over here are like, this is the only place I could get like Relic 10 material. I need these. So I think they really need to differentiate those a bit.
Yeah, I'm curious if because they did mention that each era they will be swapping out your shard that you're a part of.
Hmm.
So I don't know. I doubt they're going to do like a matchmaking kind of thing. I'm guessing it's just going to be, randomized essentially. And so you might be in a crap shard one time, you might be in a great shard another time.
Hmm.
But if we could get some kind of like matchmaking, I'd love that. That'd be awesome. That way, people who are more free to play and lower GP, yeah, you're going to have a couple new whales that might beat you out, but you're not competing with end game accounts who can just throw crystals at it and still get the same,
Yeah,
effort in there,
because
and you just can't compete.
I put a bunch of crystals in, but I again only like $30, $60. I didn't put a whole lot of money into this, and I'm getting 200 shop currency. I'm not getting anything. It's taken me so long to get these Relic 10 materials because it's the only place I could get them. and I
Yeah.
didn't spend to do it, and that's what's irritating because that is my block. I have so many characters that I could do this to, but that I could go really far in this game, but you monetized it. That's it.
Yeah, and the fact that it's just that is the only way that you can get those materials is completely rough. I think they should add in at least one other way to do it, whether it's like throwing it in territory wars like they did with Relic 9 and throw
Mm-hmm.
in another tier of rewards in territory wars because I think the tier for rewards in territory wars isn't it still like 300 million is the cap box
Yeah,
and we're like I'm in a 630 million GP
yeah.
like, why am I getting the same rewards as a 300 million
Like
guild?
I'm in a really big guild. If we have a reason to do territory wars, and again, we're not. If you sign up for territory wars, you got to compete. If you don't, you don't need to sign it. It's not mandatory. That might push people to be like, hey, just like with Relic 9 materials, I need my droid brains. Got to do it.
Yeah. Like, I mean, territory war, that's a whole conversation of it needs to be revamped. Then they still keep putting it off for some reason, but
Yeah, I
yeah.
mean they're
Uh,
focused on all this other stuff that like I honestly don't see them looking at territory wars for a long time because I thought territory wars was next, and then they released Coliseum, which nobody knew that was coming.
yeah, and it's you know, it's funny. I remember about a year ago, there was a debate going on what to fix territory wars would be going
Mm-hmm.
on in the Swago event server. And they were having a good conversation about it back and forth, and they're talking about their favorite types of game modes. And Meathead just randomly dropped my favorite game modes are PvPvE, you know, player versus player versus
Versus that,
environment.
yep.
Um, yeah, and so the Colosseum is that. So it was probably a drop of like, hey, because we figured it was a drop of, hey, we're switching out Territory Wars and we're revamping Territory Wars, but it might have just been Meathead going, hey, we do have another game mode in the works, and that's what Colosseum ended up being because it's player versus environment with a leaderboard, which was what I was theorizing when he said that. Made a whole video about how I was theorizing that we'd have something where we're both working in tandem in something kind of like a territory battle, um, except that you know you're working towards a score versus another guild or something like that. And so, very similar idea to what I was pitching as a fix to territory wars when he dropped that little nugget.
Which I
So,
could agree with that. I could see that as a good fix. They'd have to update the battles a little bit to kind of be more like GAC banner wise, because now it's like, oh,
mhm.
all 5 characters lift, you get full 20 banners.
Yeah. It seems a little simplistic now with how like banner pinchy we've gotten with GAC. Um, but like the also with the rewards as they are now, it's not worth like the banner pinching and being competitive with it
Yeah,
as much. And so if they were to revamp things, I think that we could get a really fun game mode that everyone would really enjoy.
I just think Territory Wars needs more of that GAC banner. If they did that where it's like you gotta fix your score, if everybody maxes out on 20 battles and you get a full clear, how many guilds are gonna be tied? How do you differentiate that?
Yeah, when you start adding the extra score from GAC, like ties no longer become a thing, like wins become more competitive, you become much more focusing on like squeezing out at every banner, and I feel like it would feel really good to work together with your guild again,
Mm-hmm.
like it was when you know you first start out in the game. Because like I remember playing territory wars competitively with your guild was a really fun thing early on when I was making my account because you had to work together. This person's the only one that had this counter to this team. But then as you start to get to the end, it just becomes here's 50 of this team. Can each person take down one of them? Here's the
Yes.
counter to use. And so like having that efficiency would add an extra level of like, hey, I got extra banners by doing this little thing and your guild's like, "Oh, cool, I'll try that." And you know,
Yeah,
stuff
like
like that.
not to get into what we do for defense, just because I know my guild doesn't want it out there, but we set like one wall of this. one wall of this. Have fun.
Yep. It gets real interesting when you see just an entire wall of the most broken Datacron in front, and you go, great.
How is everybody going to do this?
Hmm.
Because we all have to clear it, or else
Yeah.
somebody's going to have to try to two-shot this team.
And then you're losing banners, and yeah. And which it wasn't really big problem until Datacrons. I remember when when the Mace Windu Omicron came out, Arnold posted a video after like a couple months of it being out and him going, "This is like the first time the big guilds have actually hit walls where they just don't full clear every time. It's not an efficiency win. We actually got stonewalled." And it was like a startling thing. But now, like with the Datacron sets and everything, it's pretty common that, even the top guilds can at times get stonewalled just because the Datacrons are so and crazy broken.
Yeah, especially with this, not this current set, but the one before that. Like,
Yeah, the current set sucks. But yeah, this last
this
set
last one
was
was
insane.
crazy. Just the amount of just whatever everybody has is just asinine.
Yeah.
Um, but with that, we could get onto some of this era level stuff that was announced because I'm sure that's what a lot of people want to see, and I know you're dying to talk about it. Okay,
I yeah, I'm excited. I'm excited for sure.
so we could go through little step by step, and then we could discuss it a little bit. As we prepare for
Cool.
the era of Andor, which we do have a couple units announced already. Um, we spent a lot of time analyzing the feedback from our 10th anniversary launch, which when you guys see what they did, they actually did listen to a lot, which is why I was curious to see what the next era level was gonna be before really like jumping ship, I guess. Um,
Hmm.
While we are taking a conservative approach to changes for this era, we are implementing several key quality of life adjustments to reduce friction, protect players from overspending too early, and provide a clear roadmap for progression. All right. So reducing early era pressure. One of the loudest pieces of feedback was the crystal crunch at the start of an era. To address this, we are making the following changes. Lowered requirements. For the first three marquee characters of the Andor era, the era level requirements for the final tier have been reduced from era level 70 to era level 55. Requirements for the final three marquees will remain at 70, as players to have will have had more time to naturally accumulate materials by that stage. And then smart story management. We are temporarily removing tier 8 era material bundles, EL 80 through 95, from the store until they are actually applicable. We want to ensure players don't accidentally overspend on materials. They are currently gated from using due to Xeric ability module constraints. What's your kind of thoughts on that?
Already, I'm a big fan of the lowering of the what is it called? The era whatever.
Era level,
Um,
um,
yeah. The final tier has been reduced from level 70 to level 55.
mhm.
I do appreciate that because like trying to get someone to go to 70 in the first bit. I mean, it cost me $200 to get to level 70 on the first character on last Coliseum. I'm not doing that again
I don't
ever.
blame you.
But like I do appreciate that they're reducing these requirements. And I do think that not just for the marquees. I think they should do the same for um, the era battles. The era battles should have a reduced number, which I think is mentioned or later on. I don't remember, but the era battles, nothing felt worse than going to the era battle and not being able to complete the episode challenge, because my free to play needs that episode challenge to get through the episode pass. And so there's 2 weeks on the first episode where I couldn't get all of my episode challenges because I couldn't complete a single tier of the episode event, whatever it's called. So I was just really upsetting. I was just like, this is just locking out free to play, and I hate this.
Yeah. I'm also curious to see one thing I do want to touch up on. Era level 80 to 95 from the store until they are actually applicable. If we're going off the same scaling system and they don't change that, do not, and this is a warning, do not buy past 75.
It's so not worth it.
Or 85. 85 is the one you don't want to go by. That's the Zetas. After the Zetas is nothing. Just extra relic levels. That's easy to get. Save the money. Do not go past 75. Done. Or 85. Done. Stop at the Zetas.
I mean, for most people, yes, the Zetas are important. There's a lot of people that are missing Zetas and all that, but like maybe stop at 70, because
Maybe
taking
stop at
70 to
70.
85 is so expensive.
Yeah, I mean, I got my Vader up to 75 just because it's like combination of everything, and I was just like, boom, there. Everybody else is at like 70, 68.
I have all of my characters except for Maul at 85, and it was
Oof,
painful.
that's got to be a lot.
Yeah. I think it was
So
about 160.
is a spend like you wailed on this to do it. Did you find like it was outside of the beginning when everybody was putting all this money into it because that was the only way to get Luke up? Did you find that as it went on, you had all the resources available and it was easier to do?
Yeah, it felt bad for the first two characters. Paying or being free to play, I felt like the first two characters was really, really bad.
Mm-hmm.
And then as time went on, once like the third character got introduced, everything felt super, super easy. Like you were able to kind of continue to push your units up, like a couple levels each time you went through one of the bosses, and it would circulate, and it felt like a really good progression. Um, the during the first two characters is essentially I wailed, and all I got was what I could get out of that, and then adding the second character bumped me up just a little bit. But then once we got a third character, it felt like there was an actual like forward progression and everything. And
Yeah.
I didn't wail on really levels for any of the characters past Luke, because it did have that progression. It felt like a good progression.
Yeah, I've been hearing that from a couple people that after that initial like frenzy that people had to do. And it was a lot of money. Like I remember Logan saying he spent over $400 and he only had up to 5 stars. That's crazy. Um,
Yeah. Arnold spent 300, I think, on that first day of Coliseum testing, and I'm like, yeah, that's
and like to not to feel that kind of strain and then to have it like level out eventually is nice. But that can't feel good knowing that okay, this character's here. I got to double, triple my money spent before it levels out. And even then, you're still spending
yeah.
160 to get the
Yeah,
rest.
that bit, but you get that little bit at the end. Yeah, I also think that this next era though we'll see a lot less spending in general. We're gonna see a lot of people like taking a step back, because a lot of us were like testing and that kind of stuff. A lot of the content creators I'm talking to, a lot of them are like, I'm not even gonna take my characters past 5 stars. I don't
Yeah,
see a point in it. So I think this
that's
next
where I'm
set
at.
is
All
going
mine
to
are at
be.
like 4 or 5.
Yeah. And so this next set, I think there'll be significant less spenders, and so free to play will be able to, handle getting those 100 every single day, I think, pretty easily. And I think a lot of us that are spending just some crystals here and there will get some better uses out of that crystals and that type of thing because there's going to be a lot fewer people whaling than there was this era.
Yeah. Just looking at that smart store management though, that's like, yeah, we'll put 80 to 95 when it's applicable. Applicable for what? You're not getting anything out of it.
Yeah, it. Yeah, I don't know. The inner machinations of CG's mind doesn't make sense to me.
All right. Moving on. Coliseum and strategic variety. We want the Coliseum to feel like a place where your roster growth is always a benefit. Power scaling. Summoned units will now scale based on your highest level area unit rather than the lowest. This ensures that when you unlock a new marquee at low level, your overall Coliseum power doesn't dip. Leader-based summons. To add a layer strategy, the units you summon will now change based on your leader. A rebel leader will bring different reinforcements than an ISB, Imperial Security Bureau leader, allowing for more tailored theory crafting. Summon area unit adjustments. Summon units will be available on later tiers than we had on the 10th anniversary. If the leader is Rebel Fighter, summon the following units in the associated Coliseum: Pow, Saw, Cinta, Vel. If the leader is ISB, summon the following units in the associated Coliseum tiers: IPD, Krennic, KX, Partagaz. Summon units will be at the player's highest air level brought into the battle rather than the lowest. Tiers 5 and 8 will now summon units previously only tiers 1 through 4 did. And hero abilities. These are currently being targeted for release during the middle of the era. More information to come as details are finalized. All right. My first initial thought on this is I like the power scaling. I like that they're doing that at the higher level and not the lower.
Yeah, I think that's going to be huge. Not only from just a free to play level, just because a lot of us are getting these characters and we don't have the era currency to bring up every single one immediately. It's really an overtime type of thing. It'll allow us to prioritize like one unit and really take them up from a free to play standpoint. But then
Mm-hmm.
also those who are able to pay in the early area will also get a much bigger and significant benefit, I think, than they were getting beforehand. Because I got IG and it wasn't super helpful when I first got him. So
Are you
it'll be interesting to see.
are you using IG as the leader right now?
Yep, I'm getting the most score out of using IG leader.
I've read that IG is the best leader because he hits bounty super quickly, and then you get all those offensive benefits.
Yep, like the off even just the base level without hitting the the contract, I was still seeing a ton of extra damage off of that team. It was just much weaker overall.
Mm-hmm.
So I've always kind of swapped them out and tried both as the season has gone on. But overall, IG, the more characters we get added, the more IG shined. So he's definitely my go-to, and I've made a couple videos about it.
I really love that they're actually doing the higher. Yeah. Sorry, this is just like it's going in my head on repeat that it's going to be the higher tune, not the lowest, and I absolutely love that they're doing that. Um, Also, I'm really excited for this upcoming era level or units because this last one is kind of like a hodgepodge of characters. Um,
Hmm.
they're all going to be on different teams. They're all going to be they're just tossed in there. And coming up with this new era, we're going to see an actual team,
Hmm.
and that's what I'm excited about.
Yeah, I'm excited for it for sure. I have questions with some of this stuff they're coming out with ISB. We have a team coming, and that's cool, and I love to see the ISB coming into the game. These other characters we're getting are rebel fighters. Are we splitting into like three rebel fighter teams here? Is the question
Yeah,
I
because I
have. Which,
see like here you're borrowing Pow and Saw.
yeah,
Like one you like why Saw on that team? Why you're gonna pull him away from Luthen?
yeah, and so like yeah. I mean, we're gonna see some interesting things going forward with Rebel Fighters for sure. I don't know.
It's interesting to see that they're trying to give that lifter though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, I think that with the introduction of Relic Delta, um, we kind of see a drop in value to Luthen overall, just due to the fact that you need like the whole team to be able to be that high relic with Mon Mothma to be able to get the damage every single time, because their damage is reduced so much that Relic Delta is going to just destroy them.
Right.
Whereas they used to be like a swing up team, and so I think they're trying to bring them kind of back from fading out, especially after they dropped off with no longer being able to counter Vader. They kind of got rid of a couple of the different counters that they already had, and so I'm curious to see what they'll be after this and how we're
I
gonna
don't know.
end up
That
using all of them.
Saw team still slaps though. They really do.
Yeah, it's still a pain in the butt, especially with like a good Datacron on defense. It's just a pain in the butt to get through.
They're a banner stealer team. You
Mm-hmm.
cannot underestimate that team.
Okay, so huh. I am very curious about this. So speaking of the summon units, I just took a look at
Hmm.
the order of kit reveals that we're getting, and like where when the characters are coming out and everything like that. And I took a brief look at their kits just to see. Um, so the order of them is, which we'll get to in just a moment, is Clea, Vel, Cinta, Daedra, Partagaz, KX. Out of those characters, um, none of them have a leadership ability except for Partagaz, which means that regardless of if you're switching out for the Rebel Fighter or the ISB side, until we get Partagaz, we're not actually going to have like a dedicated leadership ability for whichever faction that we use. And so it'll be interesting to see what happens, but most likely we will see, like, because of the uniques from Clea, Vel, and Cinta, we're probably going to see everyone using just Rebel Fighters as the go-to until we get Partagaz. And then Partagaz might shift the meta in our Colosseums to you just use Partagaz as the leader
Hmm.
and get all of the regular characters that we have, the regular Rebel Fighters, and just leave them out just to make sure you're getting as much as possible from the summoned units.
Yeah, that's. I mean, if there's only one leader in here, that's.
Yeah, which does Andor have a leader himself? I
I'm
would assume he
gonna
would.
assume he does.
Yeah, leader ability. Yep. So once the actual legendary comes out, it looks like there'll be one for the Rebel Fighters, and it'll shift back to the Rebel Fighters being the meta, I think. But yeah, dang, it's gonna be an interesting time. I have
Yeah,
no idea how these teams are gonna interact.
I love that it's all gonna mesh though. I do love that. Not just oh here's IG, here's Luke, Spider Man,
Yeah, it's just a
Asajj.
hodgepodge and hoping they work together to some degree.
But none of their kits are meant to by any means. Just here, get the
Yeah.
best score, enjoy. All right. So era challenges. More ways to play will be introduced during the second era challenge. We will introduce a new 4 feet system for era challenges. Each challenge tier will now feature 4 distinct feats with escalating EL requirements. Clea's era challenge will have only be 1 feat per tier, but the other 5 will have 4 feats. The goal? This provides a reason to revisit challenges as your squad grows, giving everyone, especially free-to-play players, more opportunities to earn rewards and engage with new units throughout the era. This is huge for free-to-play members because we were missing a lot of those just era, like the pass. There were a lot of stuff in there tied to these era challenges, and if you didn't pay and you could only do like the 1, maybe 2 missions, you were not clearing those. You were not getting those points.
Yeah, and like even just like the first two that ran, like you just couldn't even do tier one because you were just so low on era currency. They were way too difficult for you to run, and so I'm hoping that these forge feet versions are going to make it much easier to get those done.
I hope so. This sounds like it could be good in the long run. We'll see. The other thing to think about is these era challenges, once these guys are gone, they say you could revisit them, but can you?
Yeah, I'll be curious to see what we end up actually getting out of it.
I don't know if we'll be able to, like, because once the week-long era challenge is gone, that's it. You don't see Luke's again. You don't see anybody's again.
Which I mean, we have the normal ones that we get around like the pirate and all that kind of stuff that we got for the other ones. I wonder if we're transitioning into that type of system as the era ends and we go into the next era, or if this is just what we get and then it never comes back.
That could be. I hope not. That's gonna again be another gated. Think about those like all those challenges. Like, imagine if they gated um the Duel of Fates behind pay to play.
Hmm.
Like that is
Yeah,
a
it's
big one that I push for new players to R9 because you can't beat those rewards. If they gated that, like that'd be
Yeah, which these aren't considered assault battles. We're not getting them monthly, which is slightly unfortunate because it would be nice to have more assault battles that happen. But like once every 6 months, those who got the new characters get some rewards. It's kind of what they
mhm.
insinuated. It doesn't feel awful as long as it's not kicking out other events that are happening. It's just a little bit icing on top for those who pay for some money. And if not, then it's not like directly affecting you because it's not replacing anything else. So,
Right. Which I mean, okay, we'll see.
yeah.
I'm curious to see what this new era challenge is gonna be. Here's another
Yeah. And they mention
here's another way
that
to
there's
play.
two of them, which is interesting. Have two separate ones.
Maybe like a ISB and a Rebel.
Yeah, that'd be my guess. But it's weird that they're saying that let's see. We'll get to it. It talks about it later on. We'll get to it. I was like trying to piece it out right before this, but
All
we'll
right.
talk about it when we get to it.
Clear roadmap for Cassian Andor. To eliminate the moving goalpost feeling, we want to be upfront about the journey guide requirements from day one. Okay, right there, I do want to pause that. Thank you, because what happened with Maul was shitty.
Oh yeah.
So thank you for putting this first and foremost. Thank you. Um, Requirements for Cassian Andor Undercover will be similar to the Maul event. Andor Era marquees in order: Clea Markey, Vel Sartha, Cinta Kaz, Dej Ramiro, Major Partagaz, KX Security Droid. The Andor event, Tier 1, requires marquees 1 through 5 at 4 star, Clea at 45, unlocks them at 4 star. Tier 2, 1 through 5 at 5 stars, Clinton Val at 55. Tier 3 requires marquees 1 through 6 at 6 stars with KX at 70. And then 4 requires 1 through 6 at 7 stars with era level 85. Scaling rewards. Remember that era materials scale exponentially toward the end of the 12-week cycle. The free track of the third episode pass will contain significantly more EL currency to help bridge the gap for those final levels. Era battle. The squads you recruit during the era of... Let me scroll down here. We're still on tier 3. The squads you recruit during the era of Andor are your ticket to the exclusive era battle launching into the next cycle. Strengthening your team now ensures you're ready to secure high value resources when the battle begins. Our goal is to have 12 era battle event runs per era, alternatively between on and off weeks throughout the cycle. There will be 2 different era battles, each with different requirements.
So this is separate from era challenges.
Mm-hmm.
So it sounds like we may be getting some more stuff for those people who need some more currency towards Relic 10s or late speed tokens, perhaps. We'll kind of see what's going on here, but it looks promising. 12, 12
Something
weeks.
I'm picking up here though. The squads you recruit during the era of Andor are your ticket to the exclusive era battle launching into the next cycle. I'm curious if they mean
Hmm.
the next. No, next cycle. Okay. At first, I was thinking like if that's going to be the next era, but they would phrase that as the next era, not the next cycle. Um,
Yeah, I think so. Because they wouldn't be able to keep track of like what your era level is or anything like that once it goes to legacy content.
yeah,
So yeah,
because
I think this is throughout the era.
as far as I knew, after the era is complete, they're going to take all that bonus material you have and turn it into gear.
Yeah, I think I heard a thing that said Meathead said it would be Relic 10 materials for some of it, and I'm like, I hope so. That'd be sick.
Be a payoff.
Yeah,
It really would be a payoff for those that like actually spend on it. Because I assume that's going to be your 80 through 95 materials.
yeah. So
That
we'll see what they do. I mean, they originally said that like anything from this era that you don't use gets turned into just credits, which was depressing to hear.
that was
Uh,
depressing.
but the I mean, Meathead recently said it's different. Here's to hoping it's different. We'll see.
Who needs credits? We all like.
Yeah,
I'm sitting on 1.5 billion credits. I need
yeah.
credits.
I think I spent like 14 million the other day and didn't blink an eye.
It's ridiculous. I don't need credits.
Oh yeah. So I'm glad they're putting everything out there, and this whole era battle thing. I guess it remains to be seen. If we can't play it free to play, it's going to be annoying once again. Um, I'm kind of in that same boat of my pitchfork is sharpened, but it's in the closet right now. I'll
Yeah,
pull it out if I need it, you know?
yeah.
Yeah.
That's Go ahead.
Oh, just the era currency for Lightspeed tokens and Relic 10s. Yeah, that's what Meathead was alluding to, that your non-used materials for the era would turn into, but
Yeah, I've
that
heard
sounds
so
way too
many
good to be
different
true.
things. Like at first it was credits, and then it was gear, and now it's Lightspeed tokens or like 10 Aram currency, which I'm all for. If you're gonna put it into the currency shop, thank you. It's at least new currency that we could use. Don't do credits. Don't do gear. I have enough gear. I don't need gear.
Yeah, but
I know a lot of people do. So like I'm not gonna say anything too bad because there are a lot of players that are starved for gear and they could use it. But You got a lot of endgame players who are just like, here, we don't need any of this. Give us the era currency so we could get this Relic 10 material we do need.
And honestly, I mean that same currency is great for free to play players. I mean, I just got Dash Rendar up to Relic 5 after out of 5,000 that currency that I saved up through this era, and now that's one more of my Profundity Rex done on that account. Like I'm looking at getting Leia and Profundity within like I don't know, within 7 months ish for both of them. Like that's crazy. So
That's
like give me more
insane.
of that currency. Fantastic.
I love that. I love that they push for newer players. I love that they pushed it like that. But I also feel
It
that
feels
that
great.
that could also be a double-edged sword with newer players because they're going to have all these lightspeed tokens. They're not going to know who to put it on. And they're not going to know how to mod. They're going to have all these relics and everything drop just like a lightspeed bundle.
Yeah, I think like with Arnold's talked about the death of an era where he can no longer do testing streams as characters come out. um I think we've also started a new era of content creation where a lot of us are going to have to be on it, trying to teach these new players how to mod, trying to teach new players how to use their lightspeed tokens effectively. I think this is going to be a big source of videos going forward, is
Mm-hmm.
just keeping people informed on this type of stuff, because we have all this knowledge of how these things work and what characters you can really benefit from. But, you know,
Yeah, it's going to be it is that shift and it's going to be difficult for everybody involved because one is content creators. We're going to have to know where it's needed. We're gonna have to like look into our crystal balls and be like, yes, we could tell you that we're gonna have to help you know how to mod. We're gonna tell you that we're gonna have to tell you where these tokens are gonna be good, but what else is gonna be needed? We're gonna have to look at all these other farms and everything and all these resources that they're gonna be getting. When we don't know what other resources are gonna be dropped in.
yeah. I mean, we're taking shots in the dark, but it's educated shots in the dark, and so
Hey,
here's to hoping we can help people out.
yeah, here's hoping. Um, we're in dark times. We're in dark times.
Yup. Our one lifeline is Meathead.
Okay, so 5 transitions and legacy. I'm not gonna look at this whole era level conversion thing. Um, if you are listening over on Spotify, Amazon Podcasts, or Apple Podcasts, wherever you're listening, um, go to the YouTube. It's on my YouTube. I'm gonna show the table. I will go slowly. It's gonna be right here for you guys to see. Or you could go to the EA forums. It's under the era of Andor information. Go to section 5 and the table era level conversion will be right there. Either or, but I'm not going to cover it. It's a lot. Uh, so unit availability, following the 10th anniversary pattern, units will move to shipments about a week after the era concludes, and units will move to nodes on a bi-weekly cadence following that. Um, Post era support. Once the era of Andor concludes, these units will receive dedicated squad based FDCs to provide extra strength in the legacy mats or legacy meta in GAC and Territory Wars. And then there's the long table. I will slowly go down. That is a long conversion. So long, like he had to split it there. All right, and then closing thoughts. The Era system is a living platform. While EL remains the primary driver of content mastery, these changes are designed to make the journey toward the end of era feel more structured, with less pressure. We look forward to your feedback of these changes as you progress through the era.
I am worried these focus datacrons they refer to are going to be, well, I mean, we'll see if they gate lock them behind relic levels in general, because this new set has a wild level of relic level like locking
Mm-hmm.
compared to previous sets lately. But not only am I worried that these focused datacrons will be based off of that, I'm worried that it might be like you get them in your inventory. They're not just like in the store, but you just get them in your inventory based on your level. If if you unlocked Mall day one or you unlocked the marquee at 7 stars, then it'll be like, oh yeah, here you go. Here's the focused datacron. Instead of it being just like, oh, you can go and get this from, the episode store and level them up, because that would just absolutely suck, because it means that only those who super whaled on
We'll get the
the
focus datacrons.
ex- exactly. So we'll see what they do with it. I'm a little worried for the focus datacrons. They've never been super accessible for new characters, so
Yeah, because it seems like at least with the lately, like since Lord Vader, it's always been like the Apple Crown you get by getting up to 7 star and getting up there and unlocking it through the event. I'm worried
yeah.
that's what we're gonna be looking at with a lot of these focus data crowns going forward.
Yeah, so I'm hoping it'll be more open, that like, even the smaller guys, people that don't want to spend anything but crystals, things like that, can still access them, but it might just be retroactively doing the same thing that they were doing before with the marquees, and just going, oh, you have a 7 star at the end of the era. Congratulations, you get the datacron associated with that person. So,
Yeah, which I could see that better. Once the era concludes, those units that receive dedicated squad, I could see it being at the end of the era. If you're at this level, you get the focus data crown.
yeah, which, oh, if it's like, oh, yeah, they have to be level 90, I'll be like, I will fight you, CG.
At least it would be a reason to go past 85.
I still will refuse to go past. I mean,
I mean,
I'm going to refuse to go past 70 from now on.
yeah, like that. Even that is like holy crap. But to at least make a reason to go past those Zetas.
Yeah. I don't know. Overall, I'm appreciative that we're seeing differences. We're seeing them put in some effort, change things. I got quite a few comments on my most recent video of like, "Are you sure that the Coliseum's even continuing next era, considering how many people didn't like it?" And it's like, it's so integrated into the system, and there's so many good things for free to play, for
Mm-hmm.
pay to win. There's so much there that I don't think it's just physically possible to remove it from the game. Plus, trying to revert the game state at this point would be a huge mess. Speaking as someone who is working for a tech company right now, trying to revert the game state would be a nightmare. So I don't think this is going away anytime soon, but I'm glad to see they're at least talking. So,
These kits are. Oh my god, these kits are lengthy.
yeah, apparently they hit there's a character limit on how long a forum post can be, and they hit it by putting all of these together, and so they had to put the last kit in a separate document.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. It's not 600,000, 60,000. My bad.
Um. Camo, I know you want to go through the kits, but this is a lot. Um. I had a Girl Scout event tonight. I just got home at 8:30. Immediately booted up, so I haven't even looked at these kits yet. So I don't normally with Kate we would kind of like read through them and be like, oh well, this is kind of exciting, and then just like have a talking point or two. Um, I don't have that for these ones because I just got home. So there's a lot here. I'm not gonna read all of that. And over 2 posts, that's crazy.
Yeah. I'll say I'm excited for ISB, I'm excited for Andor content, and no, I will not be wailing on this because I just spent $1,000 over 3 months on this game, and yeah, I just don't see a point. Um, you'll probably see me use some crystals, and you'll probably see me, buy the episode pass, but that's about it for both my free to play and my main account. You're not going to see anything more than the episode pass on my main account.
Yeah.
So.
Like this one looks fun. Like looking at like the quick images and stuff and the kits, like the characters, it looks fun. It looks like looking at the inspiration, it looks pretty cool. Some design note, like again, this is just skimming over it all. I'm excited. I like that. I don't know. I'm kind of excited to see how it goes.
Yeah, I don't know. This is the one that ever since last year when Andor season 2 came out, I've been like, I just need the Andor characters in game. I don't care what I have to do, and I will spend the money. And last era is what convinced me to not spend money on this, which is wild because like I was adamant that I was going to buy these characters last year, and like because this is Andor was the best piece of Star Wars media to me since episode 5.
Wow,
Like I absolutely adored Andor.
that's
And,
crazy. Like even six.
yeah, so to be fair, I'm not the biggest fan of Star Wars Episode
Oh
6. It
man.
has some of my favorite moments of Star Wars, but the overall movie is not one of my favorites. And I think that's the really, really why I'm willing to say that about Andor is that Andor season 1 and season 2, there's not an episode besides like the first two where it's like a little slow and you're kind of getting into it. There's not really a whole bunch of stuff, and even that is necessary to the plot. There's no part of it that's like bad. There's no part of it that's like this doesn't feel very good or anything like that. Like you have Clone Wars season 7. It's phenomenal, yeah, but you also have the sister episodes that no one cares about. You have season 1 where you have a whole season where if you look at a watch list and the whole season is said, just skip it. There's like 2 episodes to watch in season 1. Whereas Andor, top to bottom, amazing.
Yeah.
So like just that quality all the way through is what makes it so I'm willing to say
I don't
it's
know.
the best thing
I
since
really
episode
did
5.
enjoy The Stranger. I really did.
I mean, the moment he took off his shirt, I think we all enjoyed The Stranger. So,
Well, not even that. The moment like I watched it, I didn't really like I got into it a bit. The witches was like
hmm
like I don't care for Osha, I don't care for Mai. They were not that great characters.
but Soul and Chimere, the Stranger
Soul,
and the Jedi,
watching like that
were
Jedi
fantastic.
was awesome. The old era like Jedi was cool to see. I was really wanting to see that Wookiee Jedi
Mm,
badly. And I've always been a
yeah,
Jedi person. And then the stranger came and he just starts cutting down all these Jedi, like 12 Jedi in one battle, just butchered. And I'm just like, wow, okay. And then I've always been a Jedi person. I've never really cared. I'm probably one of the only people that don't like Vader. I don't like Vader.
mm,
I really don't. Like he's just not like he's strong. He's whatever. I understand he's one of the like strongest villains in cinema history, but I don't care for him. He just I just don't, and I'm gonna probably get a lot of hate for that because I just don't care. And like a lot of the Sith, Palpatine is just blah. Like you're just whatever. You're vanilla. I'm sorry. You're a basic vanilla bitch.
yeah. There's a hard thing when you're telling a story about a bad guy. You either have to make them really cool like Vader, and they did a good job with that because then people who just treasure that like feeling of coolness, that epicness, they love that character. But then you need something like Chimere that gets your interest and is like, oh, this is, the idea of like Obi-Wan going like from a certain point of view taken to an actual extent where you're
Yeah.
just like, oh yeah, maybe like this person has been betrayed by the Jedi, they've been hunted by the Jedi just because they disagreed with them. Like maybe they have a point. And so like they have some coolness to them, they have some things that you agree with. It's kind of like I don't know if you've read any of the Star Wars books, but the Darth Bane
No.
trilogy, the first book, you read through it and you're like, this is a bad guy, he's killing people and everything, but you're also like, you are a tortured individual, life has dealt you a crap hand, and you're just trying to take power in your life, so you're kind of rooting for him the entire time, even though he's brutally murdering people.
Yeah.
And so
And
giving that different
that's why
view, I
like
think, was very good.
I've always like Kenobi. I've loved Kenobi. Rey, she's a Mary Sue, but I enjoyed Rey. I really did. Um, until the end. Then she just kind of got like annoying. Um, I could name off a bunch of Mace Windu. Qui-Gon was cool. Like I could tell you, Darth Maul had his moments. I enjoyed Maul. His lightsaber was cool. He was talented, but I just they didn't focus on Maul's character until like Clone Wars, and I just didn't
Hmm.
like the movies. He was cool to watch. Obi-Wan fucked him up, and I was happy with that. Like I was good. And then Chimere comes and he just starts ranting and raving and he wants to. I was like, oh my god, I can see it now. I could see that attraction to the dark side. And then he took his shirt off and I was like, yep.
I can see two ways I'm attracted to the dark side.
Okay, yep, you got my attention. And then they canceled it. And I was like, oh man, this was gonna be good. Why you gotta do that to a girl?
Yeah.
But yeah, Caleb's right. Rogue One is probably one of the better Star Wars movies to come out. I enjoyed Rogue One. It was amazing.
Hmm. The fact that both Andor and Rogue One exist is fantastic. They have no right to exist. They should not have been made because of all the stuff in their way. Like Rogue One had to be most of it had to be reshot. They had to bring in a completely new director. No one can talk about what happened on that set because it's all under NDAs because it was such a crapshoot. And yet we got
Mm.
one of the best Star Wars movies ever. And then he pulled his magic again with Andor and just went in and made this incredible show that would not have existed if we didn't have things like COVID, where they got an extra couple of years to prepare and all kinds of stuff. Like, ugh,
Yeah, and let's look at it this way too. Like to have a hit like Andor and Rogue One was without Jedi or Sith is difficult
yeah.
to do. Like these are just rebels. Like they just made a
Hmm.
movie off rebels, and outside of Vader at the end of Rogue One, that's it.
Yeah, there's no space wizards to be seen, which is like what 90% of people go to Star Wars for. So it was really impressive that they did such a good job.
Like I was thoroughly impressed with it. All right, but let's move on to some viewer questions. We are getting close to 10:30. Um, so viewer questions. There. Bodie wants to know. You get to make. You get them to make one last series of your favorite canceled show. Which show and why?
Ooh. Are we talking Star Wars or just in general?
In general.
Favorite Oh, goodness gracious. Do you have an answer ready to go? Because I have to think about this one.
Yeah, we normally start with guests, but I will take this one so you can have a minute to think. Um,
Okay.
I would have to say Take Two. It was an old ABC drama from God, I think I was like early 20s, I think. It was awesome. It was about like an actress who went into rehab and went into jail. And her rehab was that she had to basically get clean. And again, as an actress, that's not easy to do. So her way to get into work was she started to follow a private investigator. And then she got hired on to work with him. They were making a movie where they wanted her to be a PI, so she was trying to follow him for the role. And it just kind of devolved, and it was like a really awesome show based off, an actress who wants to play this part, and things got real.
Hmm, okay. Yeah, I thinking about it, like I can't think of a lot offhand where I'm like, "Oh, this show I really wanted a another season and it got canceled or anything." But one for me was Limitless.
Mm-hmm.
Um, there was the movie Limitless where it's about the guy who,
With
finds this pill and, he can take it and it activates 100% of his mind instead of the normal 10% that you use, but it's highly addictive and, causes problems for you, but he changes his life around using this pill. And they made a TV show out of it as well. Like flashing forward in time, and that character has become like the president of the United States or like a senator or something like that using this pill. And then the main character is just working for the FBI and it's using this pill as well, but he doesn't get addicted to it at all. It doesn't have any negative effects, and they're like studying that as he helps solve crimes. Always really enjoyed the first season of it. I've watched it probably 3 or 4 times, so I'd probably love to see another season of that show.
That'd be cool. It sounds good.
Yeah.
Um, all right. Vlad Sander asks, you are a hiring manager for a new Star Wars show. What famous actor or actress who hasn't been in any Star Wars content yet would you want to hire? And what would they be? A Jedi, Sith, etc.
Ooh. That is a hard question for the reason that I don't think that big actors deserve to be in Star Wars. I'm of the
I
belief of
agree.
George Lucas. I don't agree with George Lucas on a lot of things, but I'm of the belief of I want people to be able to look at a character and go, "That's Leia, that's Luke." I want this to be like their breakout role that gives kids something to look at, and I feel like a lot of the times big actors can also take away from the plot and take you out of the story.
Hmm.
Obvious example, the Lizzo and Jack Black in Mandalorian was just awful. um,
Also, big shout out to that one was Trinity from the Matrix being Depa in the Acolyte.
yeah. Yeah, and so like there's definitely some iffiness, and but there is a couple people that do it well, Obviously Harrison Ford was pretty well known already. He
Hmm.
does a good job. He doesn't take over or anything. He does a really good job for his role. Woody Harrelson was one that I was not calling as a good person to choose. I thought it was going to be terrible. He ended up being my favorite character in Solo.
Yeah,
Um, so as for who I would choose, I don't know. I wanna get someone with, like, a really cool voice and just utilize their voice for something, for,
like a
like, a cool
Morgan
Sith.
Freeman.
Yeah, yeah. Um, like, a more give Morgan Freeman, like, he's an ancient Jedi holocron that the main character is listening to or something. Give me, like, some more cool voices
Or like
like James Earl Jones,
ooh,
you know?
like Darth Revan. You could have Morgan Freeman voice Darth Revan, and then have some random actor dude play like the mask. And
Okay, so you bring up Darth Revan, I think that that seals the deal for me. I think it would be cool to have, Keanu Reeves as an old Darth Revan telling the story to someone of his life as flashbacks, and he plays
that would be
old
cool.
Darth Revan. I think that would be a fantastic because I think he's too old to do the young Darth Revan and like the story of Darth Revan very well, but I think he'd be fantastic as an old Darth Revan that we can then have him make like flashbacks and that kind of thing. I think that would be really, really cool. So I would say that is the only big actor that I can speak of
Ooh.
in my mind right now that I'd be like, I could
You
see that.
you could have like oh my god, you could have it kind of be like How I Met Your Mother. You could have him telling Satele the story of how him and
Yeah, exactly. Something like that.
oh, that'd be crazy.
Yeah.
For
Just
me,
end better than How I Met
yeah,
Your
yeah.
Mother
How
ended.
it, that last season was a whole different like director and everything. They took that
Yeah.
way out in left field, like Game of Thrones. Um,
Yeah.
I think I would like to see somebody again. I love her. She's relatively known. Anna Kendrick.
Mhm.
She's not big by any means, but she's known. I think she would make like a good. I'd love to see her do like a bounty hunter show or like I want to say it's Sith because Chimere's opened up my mind to the Sith and I want to see more and actually explore the
Mhm.
dark side. Maybe have her play like Bastille.
Mm. Okay. Okay.
She can
Be
do
an
serious
interesting one.
roles. She can do serious roles. Um, or like Satele. Keanu could tell his story to her. Um, or an
Be an interesting one.
honorable mention. I really would love to see Brie come in. She is a huge Star Wars
Brie
fan.
Larson.
Yes.
Okay. Interesting.
She's a huge Star Wars fan. She wants to play Mara Jade badly. I want to see Mara come in the right way and actually make her canon.
Hmm. I think that both those actresses are they aren't super high typecasted because I
Mm-hmm.
feel like it's the ones that are like very much typecasted are the ones that you want to avoid, and I feel like those ones aren't the most typecasted where it's just like all their roles are the same and that type of thing. They could probably do a pretty good job in
Yeah.
Star Wars.
And especially Brie being like a Star Wars fan. She knows
Hmm.
like she knows how to play her character and I think that you could get a lot out of her for that. Personally. I don't know. I could be wrong there. I know she gets a
Jason
lot of hate.
Alexander.
Jason Alexander
Who's
is a voice
Jason?
Jedi.
I don't know who that is. Let me look that up real quick.
Question. Google. Um,
Well,
Pretty Woman, Jacob's Ladder, Rocky and Bullwinkle.
a lot of stuff that I haven't seen, so I have to hear his voice.
Yeah, I'm sure I'd hear if I heard his voice. I'd be like, oh, okay, yeah. He was in. Uh, I'd have to hear his voice.
Oh, Jeff Hayes as anyone. Let's go with Jeff Hayes. I just thought of that as I was listening to this Jason Alexander's voice. Reminded me of Jeff Hayes. Jeff Hayes is just hilarious as a voice actor and just absolutely phenomenal. He's kind of like the same level of like he can do as many voices as you need him to as like D. Bradley Baker, and so I'd love
Ooh,
to see him join the cast of some animated show or something.
I'd also love to see Matt Mercer.
Ooh, yeah, Matt Mercer is yeah, I'd love to see. I mean, he played Luke in Battlefront 2.
Yeah,
I'd
bring him
love to
into
see
like
him
a
in Star
Star
Wars
Wars
again.
movie.
Mm-hmm.
Bring him into like a show.
Yeah, I'm so down. I always love seeing the Critical Role cast and things. They always do a great job.
They do. They know what they're doing. They're great actors and actresses. They if you've never watched a Critical Role episode, watch Critical Role. The Mighty Nine is probably one of my favorite like campaigns they did. It's also on Amazon, so go check out the Mighty Nine. Critical Role.
Yeah.
I'm giving you a plug. I'm giving you a plug. Critical Role. Check out the Mighty Nine. Also, Vox Machina over on Amazon. If you don't want to listen to the whole show, they do a really good sum up. Uh, I love Jester. Jester is amazing. I'm not sure if you
Yeah,
watch the
as
Mighty
a
Nine.
I have not yet. I started listening to Critical Role back when I wanted to be a better DM because I do play D&D. Um
Mhm.
and I love watching because on Amazon Prime it's an animated show that they're making for both of their campaigns they've previously done. Um, I love watching it because I can literally watch it and go, "Oh, I know what kind of role that would have been, and that they failed that check, and that's why
Yep.
this is happening." And
Yep.
so I love being able to see that as a D&D nerd of being like, "Oh, I can see how all of this happened, and none of it was on purpose." And I love
As
that.
a D&D nerd myself, I've been playing since forever. I have 3 campaigns going on right now. Friday night, Saturday, Sunday night.
Dang.
Yeah. I'm actually getting into being a paid dungeon master. Really cool.
Nice.
I could use the extra money. Um, I'm excited for that step. The entire cast of Viva. You know what? If you ever watched Viva La Dirt on Facebook at all,
Yeah, I have, and I think that would be
that would be
fantastic.
awesome. I could go for that. Um,
Oh, yeah.
yeah, so I totally get where they're coming from, and I love me some Critical Role. Again, shameless Critical Role. Plug. Go watch Vox Machina. Go watch The Mighty Nine on Amazon. Both are fantastic. I am thoroughly enjoying The Mighty Nine. Again, Jester is goals. Um, she's just amazing. The voice acting and actress in that show are just phenomenal. Um, Go check them out. Again, Matt Mercer is there too, and Ashley Johnson,
Yeah.
who is Ellie from The Last of Us.
Yeah, I mean, they are literally everywhere in
They are.
gaming.
They're so big.
Mhm.
Um, so with it being 10:36, do you want to give your closing statements and plug your stuff again?
Yeah, yeah, for sure. I mean, overall, I'm glad CG's listening. That's kind of the big thing I see out of the things we talked about today. It seems like CG's putting in its effort to listen and to adapt. I think that a lot of people are unhappy with the current system, but they are happy of the things that come from it.
Mm-hmm.
And so I appreciate that. We'll see what happens. Once again, Pitchfork is sharpened, but it's in the closet. We'll see if we need to take it out and go storm CG. So remains to be seen.
Meathead, you're on
Uh,
notice.
exactly. But yeah, and then if you want to check out my channel, it should be in the chats, and anything from stupid hot sauce challenges to just, swaggo content, guides, especially guides. If you need guides, I always try to go for minimum requirements,
Mm-hmm.
the least amount of zetas and the least amount of mods. But often I lose my tongue and I just make random sounds too. So I don't know. Maybe you'll come over for that. Who knows?
Always a good time.
Oh yeah,
Um,
always a dang
plus
good time.
plus you get Mara.
Yes. Where is she? She hasn't been. I bet she's asleep on my bed right now.
Oh, she's a pupper. She's a good puppers.
Oh yeah.
If you donate, you could give her treats, and she actually knows Mandalorian commands, so pretty cool.
Yes. Named after Mara Jade, of course. Hence the pink collar and all of that.
So definitely give Beaver some love, uh, from everyone here at Club 38. Um, and
Yeah.
if you're not already in the Discord, make sure you go check out the Discord. Linktree/Club 38. And there again is the Discord. You could get the Club 38 role be notified whenever we go live. Whenever I go live, Kate has her role. Um, get everything that you want over there, as well as the podcast questions. We really do enjoy Y38 because I'm Allie 3 Gal and Kate is K8 Gaming. So 38, 38. So that's where that originated from. Uh, so in there is also Kate, the link to Twitch, Kate's Twitch, my YouTube. Again, all the video uploading will be posted to YouTube, so you could always catch the playback to it. Also in there is the Spotify, Apple, and there's Mara on camera right now. She's a good girl.
She is a good poopers.
Also, Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Podcasts is up in there, as well as new merch, link to my merch, and Club 38 merch is in there as well. And my PayPal, anything you pay will go directly back into the channel. So feel free to hit that up as well. Also, the current thing is 500 subscriber goal over on my YouTube channel. Hurry up and get that so that way we could take our Wampa to Relic 10 and rub it in Fat Phil's face that we have a Relic 10 and he does not. His
I
whole
love that.
flagship character and he does not have a Relic 10. So we will shame him and Egnards will love it and we will even get Phil live to do it when we do it.
I
Um
love that.
so 500 subscribers and then maybe if we get 1,000, maybe I could get Beaver to do some like karaoke or something with me.
Oh gosh. I'll give it my best.
Same. So with that, make sure you check all that out. Also, next week, live, February 10th, Club 38, featuring Celiac Sarah. You've heard it here. Next week, we will have Celiac Sarah ready to go in the club. So make sure you check that out.
So,
Also,
really quick, funny
yes.
story. I tried to have a collab with Celiac Sarah. I reached out to her. Well, we were talking back and forth. We set up this collab, and then a week later, she ended her channel. And that was the second person in a row that I had set up a collab with, and then a week later they had ended their channel and started the rumor that I was
uh,
cursed and was causing people to end their channels.
the theory, she's not coming back to the game web, but she will be in the club just to hang out, talk. I did finally get a hold of her. She will be in the club. So she
I'll give her
will
my best. That's awesome.
she will be back. Also, the 15th, it will be a Sunday. It'll be an early, super early stream. Well, not super early. It's 11 EST. We will be getting Scribe Gaming on a special Sunday stream of Club 38. So, two big getting Scribe on. I had to be on Sunday morning because it's the only time that worked for him. Um, so again, with that being a Sunday stream, I will start telling everybody about that now. That will be February 15th for him. And next week, Sarah. So I'm excited to have Sarah on the show. And that gives everybody something to look forward to. Also, I have other things in the works too. I'm just waiting to hear from some other special people and big things coming to Club 38, everybody. So if you've liked what you've seen, if you love what you've got to witness on these 28 episodes of Club 38, if you're excited for Sarah, if you're really excited for Scribe, hit that follow button, hit that subscribe or sub button over on YouTube. Make sure you get notified when we go live. And with that, I hope you all have a great night. We will see you around the hollow table.